Hello, lovely people. Welcome back to the Distinct and Jovial podcast. My name is Dom. It is the 22nd of March, 2026. It is episode 58. And I am so pleased to say that I am joined by my wonderful co-founder, Jerry. How are you doing, my friend?
Yeah, well, so nice of me to turn up, isn't it?
This year.
Jeez. Yeah, bloody hell. Yeah, I'm okay, thank you. I'm all right now.
Yes.
Just couldn't make the last two episodes, obviously, and I asked a massive favour of you to cover, and you did, and thank you for doing that.
That's good.
Enjoyable episodes too, to be fair. I like both of them.
You got to listen to them as a fan of the
As
episode.
a fan?
Yes.
Yeah. That's the first time I've done that, because I think they're the first ones I've ever skipped. Is that right?
Yes. No, neither of us have skipped any episodes.
No.
The only one that you have something slightly different is the first video episode, which was that bonus April one we did in 2022. You aren't on camera, but I am.
That's right. Yeah.
And then the only guest that we've had on camera that didn't want to be was Laura. So yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So
yes, good to be back.
Yeah, I'm 58 episodes still swinging. We'll need to I'll need to create like an IMDb page for us, because then it says what episodes that you're in, and you can be like episode like 1 to 56.
Oh my god! Can you do that? Can you actually create an? I don't know. I don't think so.
I'm gonna.
This isn't like Wikipedia.
Now. Can you create an IMDb page for yourself? The first. Oh my god, the AI overlords. So Google's now got this AI overview.
Yeah.
It says, as an AI, I cannot create an IMDb page for myself.
Oh my god. And we're worried about AI taking over.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So you've so you have to make sure we list the movie/show you worked on. So we'd have to submit the podcast onto IMDb, and then they could.
Oh, they review it and deem it eligible. Do IMDb have podcasts though?
Ooh.
I don't think they would.
I think they do.
No. Do they? Because I thought it was just film and television, isn't it?
Yeah. While IMDb may stand for Internet Movie Database, did not know that, actually.
Yeah.
I suppose it makes sense. As with all... this article is on commercials, music videos, and podcasts. So for podcasts, we're thrilled to announce that as of the 21st of October 2021, we've fully launched new title types for podcast series and podcast episodes. I'm adding that to my to-do list. I'm going to submit our podcast onto IMDb.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's brilliant. That is epic.
That has made my day. Welcome back, Jerry.
Oh my god. We're going to be on IMDb.
Yeah, why not?
Possibly. Let's do it.
Let's try it.
Let's do it. Why not?
Oh dear.
That would be hilarious.
And then add it to, because then you can add it to things like your social media or your LinkedIn profile. I have a credit on IMDb.
LinkedIn. Have you seen those posts with the... see if I can find one.
No. Do you know why I haven't?
With the dogs.
Because I've been locked out of LinkedIn and they won't let me in, the buggers.
Yeah, but that's because you decided you were going to abandon LinkedIn, and now they're sulking and they don't want you back.
No, they don't want me back.
There was... see if I can find it. The people are doing this. They're so creative. I love it. There's such funny stuff out there. If I can bloody find it. Here we go. So they have like... oh no, it's not that one. Oh, here we go. Right. So they show this dog, and it says, See, on one side, on the left-hand side, it just says reality. On the right-hand side, it says LinkedIn. So it says, I ate the sandwich. That's the reality. LinkedIn. Proud to announce I successfully identified and eliminated an unsecured lunch asset. This initiative reinforces my commitment to proactive resource management and rapid response execution, open to new opportunities. I love it.
Oh dear. That's just reminded me of something. So the names that we would come up for Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh God, yeah.
There is an alternative one. There's another one that can be that you can do, and I'm going to say one of the alternatives, and you need to guess the actor's name. Timothy Chardonnay.
Wow, I would never guess that. Chardonnay.
Timmy B. Swiss Chalet. Because the other one they got in this is Bendy Dick Cucumber Snatch.
So ridiculous. I can't believe they're now picking on Timothy Chalamet.
Tyrannosaurus
Chardonnay. Chardonnay.
So I found an alternative actor that's got a name that you can try and...
Nice. I'll have to look that up. By the way, before you forget, you need to do the disclaimer. I haven't done the disclaimer
yet.
Yeah.
Views on this podcast are our own and don't represent anybody that we work for.
Absolutely not.
And there are always alternative products to the products that we may mention on this podcast.
There's no brand endorsement or anything like that.
No, it's no brand endorsement. Well, we're not being paid to do any brand endorsement anyway, at least.
Which is a shame. That is a shame.
Oh dear. So yeah, there is that opportunity to come and give us some brand. Although I've always thought about this. I'd really struggle with brand endorsements because it'd have to be something I actually like. So, for example, I'm not going to go and endorse
peanut butter.
Oh no, I'm not going to endorse any peanut butter. No,
Sunpat. This episode is brought to you by Sunpat. Smooth peanut butter.
Absolutely not. Do you know how you could make that worse? Is if you said it was chunky peanut butter, because any sauce. What is it? What is peanut butter? Sauce?
Spread.
That's it. Any spread that is chunky.
Well, no, is it a soup, salad, or a sandwich?
It's a soup. It's a soup.
It's a soup. Yeah, it would be a soup.
Is it a soup? Because a soup has to be
it's
liquid.
it's not a sandwich and it's not a salad, so it's a soup. If you were to just keep adding water to that, the first place it's going to go is a soup.
You'd eat peanut butter from the jar with a spoon, not with a fork.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how I define
that. There you go. It's a soup.
Oh no! Oh dear! What has this descended into? We've not. What have we been recording for now? 10 minutes, and we've already gone completely off tangent. So
yeah, absolutely.
Welcome back to the podcast, Jerry. I'm sure you're glad to be here. Everything from IMD pages to peanut butter. What more do you want on this line?
And beyond.
Don't. We've had a lot of discussion this week about Toy Story because some of the moves that we do in Taekwondo recently, the best way I can describe it is falling with style. So,
right, okay.
And it is probably one of my favourite moves. I can't explain it without doing it, but I suppose normally if you're sparring, somebody comes running at you. You don't want to just run away. You don't want to just go backwards because you're on the back foot then. So the best way to do it is to normally back kick, right? So turn away, kick out the leg. So if you're turning to your left, you'd kick out your left leg. If you're turning to the right, you'd end up kicking out your right leg. But there is a way to do it to kind of switch on the spot. And the best way to do it is to turn away and then literally almost half fall and just switch your feet. I call it falling with style. But it's quite effective, especially if someone's running at you, because you'll just go ba-dunk, and fold them in half. Nice. Anyway, so today's podcast is, as you can tell, going to be completely non-serious. We're not going to go into anything that's happened over the last few weeks because so much has happened. And even for both of us, a lot of it positive, a lot of it negative, so we're not going to deal with it. So this is going to be a light-hearted return to form, so we're going to do some old traditional stuff, which I'm really excited for. But we're going to start with one of my favourite things, which is blindly rank, which we all love a good blindly rank. And I am going to be able to half participate. For those that are on audio, I used air quotes, half participate. And these are minor inconveniences. Well, all that Jerry can see is minor inconveniences with a twist.
Actually, I need to get my pen. Don't I? This is I can see where this is going to go.
Can you indeed?
I can. Right, I've got my paper, I've got my pen.
What is your prediction on where this is going to go?
I'm going to be backed into a corner again. I can feel it. Is it 10?
There's 10, yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
I'm ready.
10th letter is J. I've had to put it as A to J rather than 1 to 10 because I kept doing... I did 1 to 10 with Hooper and then realised that I just had like 1 to 10 and then 1 to 10 as in where he'd put them in the rank, and I was like, I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
My brain melted halfway through. I was like, oh. So, minor inconveniences. I've got 10 minor inconveniences, and we're going to go from like 1 to 10, where 1 is this ruins my day, and 10 is this is barely a problem.
Okay.
So 1 is like the worst. However, before each one, I'm going to add additional chaos mode, and I'm going to generate a random number between 1 and 4. So if it's number 1, this minor inconvenience happens on a normal day. Fine. If it's number 2, a multiplier of 2, it happens when you're tired. If it's a multiplier of 3, it happens when you're in a rush.
Right, I'm writing this down. Okay.
And if it's multiplier number 4, it's when you're in public. Now, sometimes the in public one, while it's a multiplier of 4, it might not affect it at all, because there's a couple on here that I'm like, well, actually, if that would almost have to happen in public, but other times maybe not. So we'll see how this goes.
So, just to be clear, 1 is every day, 2 is tired, 3 is when you're in a rush, 4 is in public.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, this is good. I like this.
Yeah. So, your first generated number, so your first one, you are 2, so you're tired. And this happens. Putting a USB in the wrong way twice.
Oh, it's not too bad. It's not going to ruin my day.
Even at a 2?
Yeah, even at a 2. When I'm tired, that doesn't matter. I've been there. I'd say 10.
Oh, you're going to go 10. So that's A, and I'm just going to put a multiplier of 2. Nice. So I'm now going to generate a number for me. And I also got 2. And I agree with you. So I'm going to put that... Because I know what's coming, I can cheat a little bit. I'm going to put it 9.
Yeah, I was going to say, how did
yeah,
this
I
work?
get a little bit of an advantage, but just to see where the chaos mode impacts me. Also, I can hear Larry.
Yeah.
Slap.
Drinking water. Are you all right? Just chill out.
Jerry is dog sitting today, so if he suddenly darts off screen, it's because the dog is being a nuisance.
He's standing next to me now, so I'm giving him fuss. Yeah. Right. So you've got 9. I've gone 10.
I've got 9, yes.
9,
I've written this down as well for you.
Right.
Okay, your next generated number is going to be 3. So this happens when you're in a rush. Stepping in something wet in socks.
Still not too... So if you're in a rush, obviously, then you can't really change your socks. So I would say that's probably a 5. I'm going to play it safe.
So that's B, and you had a 3, and I got... I'm going to generate... So I got 2 again. And I have to admit, I hate wet socks, so that is a 4 for me. Because I can't stand wet socks.
Well, I don't think anyone likes wet socks, to be fair.
There are probably certain people that listen to this go, no, it's like the worst thing ever. There's some people that's like, whatever.
Yeah, so yeah, it'll dry. It'll
Depends on your disposition. I was about to say number C, but C. You need a number generated. Also, number 1, so just a normal day. Forgetting why you walked into a room.
I, again, wouldn't ruin my day. So that would be a 9 for me.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, because usually what happens is I end up walking out of the room, go back and sit on the sofa, and then remember why I walked into the room. So then I get back up again and go back to the room, and then forget why I walked into the room, and then so it's just like back and forth all
And
day.
now press repeat.
Yeah. It's just an endless loop. So that wouldn't ruin my day. That's just normal. That's standard shizzle.
I got 1 as well, and I'm not going to lie, I'm going to put that as a 10 for me because it really doesn't bother me because it happens all the time anyway.
Yeah, exactly, right?
It's just normal.
It's not like it's it happens all the time.
Okay, another next. Oh, you got a 4, so you're in public. Although this one has to happen in public anyway, so
Right.
probably makes no difference. The self checkout yelling unexpected item in bagging area.
Pretty annoying. It is pretty annoying. Yeah, that's pretty damn annoying because most of the time you then have to call someone over to come and sort that out, and most of the time it happens when you're in a rush as well.
Yeah.
And tired.
Yeah. So I think if you're up 4, I think it's just like apply all of them.
I'm again gonna go cautious with this. Gonna go 3.
3. That's pretty much. I would not disagree. What letter is that? We're on A, B, C, D. And you had a 4.
We're kind of aligned on this so far, aren't we?
Yeah. I got a 2. And I have to admit, I am going to put this about the same. I'm going to put I'm going to put it 5. I can cope with it. Did I get a 2? 2, yeah. And I'll explain. For me, what's interesting, I think the thing that's more annoying is when you're waiting for a self-checkout to clear and it appears that every person in front of you has never used a self-checkout before in their lives.
That's annoying. That's very annoying. Yeah.
And how many people just can't read instructions? Like, if you take 2 seconds... Because most of the time, like, I don't know what it is. I'm going to go into a bit of a rant in the comparisons between supermarkets now. But as to supermarkets... You can scan it like almost as quickly as a normal checkout, and it would be fine. Tesco scanners, for some strange reason, are diabolically slow. That if you're too quick, it just doesn't scan it. So yes, you sometimes put it in and it hasn't scanned. So it'll go unexpected item in bagging area, and you go, well, yeah, it isn't unexpected. It is unexpected to you because you haven't scanned it. So you just take it out and then it fixes, and then you scan it and it fixes itself. So it's all good. And so while it's more like an I can cope situation where it's gone unexpected item in bagging area, and I've just gone, well, hang on, let me take it out. Oh yeah, that's fine. Let me rescan that and go through. It's a manageable thing. I do wish that they were a little bit less shrill and loud and stuff like that. Less so on that one, but also when it's like, if for some reason you dabbed your credit card and you've done your credit card too many times, so you put your PIN in, and it goes, payment failed. You're like, thanks for announcing that to the entire store.
It shames you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Payment not authorised.
Yeah.
No. Okay. It's not my fault, is it?
I blame you. Right. Number generator. So you've got a 4 in public. This is a weird one to have in public, but your letter E is getting into bed and realise you forgot to turn the light off. I don't know how that would be in public.
Unless you went to IKEA and you're testing out one of their beds and you're like, I'm just going to sleep here overnight, see how I feel in the morning. 6. It's pretty annoying. Because usually what happens is you get under the covers, you start warming up, and then you go, oh yeah, the lights are on. And then you have to get out then. Yeah. Do I go 6? Yeah, 6. It's pretty annoying.
Yeah.
It's pretty frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're in the lower half, but yes.
Well, yeah.
I think for me, so let me do a number generator for me. So I got 2, which is when you're tired, which you naturally be when you go to bed. I'm actually going to put this as high as a 3. And the reason being...
high.
Yeah, and the reason being is because I now have a bedside light. And the amount of times that I've gone into my bedroom, turned the bedside light on, and been like, yeah, I don't need to get out of bed. Got into bed, and then turned the bedside light off, and realised that the big light is still on. There's way too many, and it's like,
oh my god, Dom.
So I've been there for half an hour reading my book by the bedside light when the big light's been on. Put my book down, turn the bedside light off, and then suddenly like, oh no, the big light is still on. So,
Jesus.
Yes, that is really annoying.
Cut it out. He's barking at the crow. Hang about. Let me go and shut the door. Let me go and shut that door because you can hear the crows. I'll be back. I can't believe you do that. You put the bedside light on and then...
Yeah.
It's like, this is really... Hang about. He's growling. Can you hear him?
I can't hear him growling. I heard the bark.
Okay, 1 second. Right, I've shut the door. Sorry.
Why are you apologising? You can't help the dog.
Such a pain in the ass. That's funny. So that's the 3. So that really pisses you off.
Yeah, it really pisses me off because it happens more than I'd like to admit.
No, okay. Is that almost daily?
Not quite. It's at least once a week.
That's not too bad. Not too bad.
But you would have thought after 34 years of going to bed, I would have learnt to turn the bloody light off.
I'm saying nothing.
Right, you're next number 3. So you're in a rush. Opening a crisp packet upside down. I just picked some random ones.
What?
Yeah.
That doesn't even matter. There is no right way up. It doesn't actually matter.
There are people now that listen to this podcast going, it does matter.
It makes no difference. That makes no odds. That would have been number 10 if I hadn't put USB in there. If it would have been then number 9 if I hadn't put forgetting what you went into the room for. So that's going number 8.
Yeah. F. What number did I give you? 3. You're in a rush. Well, it doesn't matter, right? I have to admit, I put it, even if I put a number generator, I got a 1, right? It's a normal day.
That
literally makes... number 8. I'd forgotten that was there. I'm not bothered by crisp packet. Sometimes, if I know somebody is, I'll deliberately open up a crisp packet upside down.
Just to trigger them. Nice. Do you ever do that? Do you ever make the crisp bombs? So when you finish your crisps, you do the. You basically you squish the crisp packet into your fist.
Yeah,
and it makes it and then neatly fold the ends, and then you've got like a tight little crisp bomb that you can throw.
I make a triangle.
Oh yeah, I've seen you do that actually.
Yeah, where I kind of you fold it in half again, and you kind of fold it so it ends up like that, and then you can fold it in on itself, so it creates a little triangle like that.
Yeah,
that's quite a good way. And you kind of fold up and fold across, and there comes a little triangle. And they're quite good if you're the other side of the room and just go like a sort of mini ninja star across the room.
Nice. It's like shuriken embedded in the forehead. Nice.
My dad ties them in knots.
Yeah, that's also I've seen people do that. Yeah.
I think my way's more efficient.
It's neater. It's more aesthetically pleasing.
Yes. It's an argument that like the reason why is so because they'll go to landfill, unfortunately, and my dad's like, well, I don't want animals kind of scurrying in and getting stuck. So if you tie them up, they can't get in. So that's why we do it.
Okay.
Dad's always done it, and I'm like, great, but my way's neater and better. It's an argument that we have.
And you might have rats or something that need a weapon to protect themselves. From predators.
From predator.
Predator. Yeah, exactly. So
they need to. Well, the rats need to teach four turtles, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Jeez, wonder how old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's got to be old now.
Oh God,
isn't it?
I think it's older than me. Yep, older than me. First episode date 28th of December 1987.
My God, it's 80s.
87, yeah.
No way.
Yeah. That's stunned you, isn't it?
Jeez. Yeah, it has actually. That really has.
Original comic book series, though. When was the first comic book? Obviously, it's going to predate cartoon.
Well, that's going to be probably mid-80s then, isn't it?
Yeah. 84.
84. I was going to say 85, yeah.
84? Yeah, very first one. It doesn't say month, but... Yeah. God, blimey, it's been... How many? I'm always fascinated by how many comic books they produce. But
how many are there?
Loads. Like just even the titles, which are just of how to phrase it. So you've got like a comic book series rather than the individual comic books themselves. That goes up to 36. Plus all the prequels. I reckon. Yeah, loads. Yeah, too many to count. I'm not going to spend the wiki page. Swanee will get frustrated because there'll be too much silence while
we
I
need
count
about 15 minutes of silence, yeah, whilst we do our research on this.
Yes. Alternative, you can just tell him you lost the game, and that'll also just annoy him just as
I'm
much.
not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Oh dear. Right. Right. New number generated. So you've got another number 4.
Okay.
Missing a call and immediately getting "call me" as a text.
But that's not even inconvenient. That's common sense.
Well, yeah. I just picked a random bunch of inconvenience.
That's not even inconvenient. That's kind of you're reiterating that you're basically saying, I'm not just calling you randomly. Like, I need you to call me.
Yeah.
So actually, my next lowest one now is fucking 7.
7.
Yeah. But again,
got-
that would have been an absolute solid
to be
number
fair,
10.
The next 3 I think are probably more bigger. So that's G, and you got that as a 4.
Well, hang about. What are your views on that then?
It depends on the nature of I've missed a call. I'll generate my number. I got 3, which is you're in a rush. I will probably put it at 7 to be honest as well, because I agree with you on the point. That's G. 3. It depends. Because you're right. To me, actually, that's a hello. There's a thing like that. I think the only time I get annoyed is if I'd literally just missed it, and this happened the other day. And then you you phone them back, and then it goes, caller is busy, because they're trying to phone you again. That is annoying.
Or they don't answer, or it just rings through.
That's really annoying. If they
annoying.
call you, call them, and then they don't answer. You're like
3 seconds later, you call them back, and there's no answer.
Yes.
And then you call them back again, and there's still no answer. And then you call them back again in like 5 minutes, and there's still no answer. And you think, I've had that happen before.
Yeah.
I've had maybe 2 or 3 missed calls. But then after the third call, I called back about 2 seconds later, and there's no answer. So when you've just tried to get hold of me over the course of a few minutes 3 times,
Did you try to
I'm now
ring
calling
me,
you
and then
back.
did you lob your phone in the sea for?
Honestly, now that's annoying. That's an inconvenience. But this one isn't. That's fine for me.
I think this one might be up there. So you got it as a 1, but slow walkers blocking the pavement.
I'm going to have to be careful here, because you've already given a bit of the game away to say that these 3 are biggies. That is really annoying. And if it happens, I mean, it does happen pretty much every day as well. I'm going to play it safe and go 2.
Ooh, okay.
But it is up there.
It's up there.
Yeah.
So you got a 1.
Thing is, I don't actually mind. So I just need to caveat this. I don't mind somebody who's walking slowly if I've got an easy way to be able to go around them.
Yeah, no, that's
But
normally...
when you have like couples that are holding hands,
Oh,
or you've got a group of people that are all walking sort of side by side, and you can't get past them, and that's really annoying.
that's the worst.
Yeah,
yes,
that's the worst.
And that's why it's my number 1.
Oh, it's your number 1. Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
absolutely,
Yeah.
100%. I got a 4, so it's like in public. I think for me, I mean, I'm a giraffe, so like my pace is normally like that, and so if I'm in a rush and I'm in public, it's just like, and I think because mine was a 4, which, I'm kind of assuming things like people leaving their trolley across the aisle, and people like being across the whole pathway so you can't get past quickly.
Yeah, exactly.
Or they're walking at that inconvenient speed that if you want to go past them, you've got to really accelerate to get past them reasonably. Or
Yeah, you've got to
like
almost run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like you said, couples. Or the one that really bugs me is if you're coming the opposite way on a path. There's a group of people and none of them move out the way.
Yeah.
So like
Happens
single file. So
all the time. Really irritating.
So that is a number. That's why it's a number 1 for me.
Nice.
Okie dokie. So you've got this for 3. So you're in a rush, typing a long form, and the website crashes, deleting it.
Yeah, that's number 1. Absolutely, that's number 1. No question. No question. I'm writing that down. Absolutely no question.
I mean, yeah, that's. Does it need any more? Does it need any more answer to that?
No, because I've had it a couple of times where it asks for information that you didn't realise you needed to provide, so you end up going and looking for it. It could be, I don't know, something like, we need your passport number, or, whatever it is. And you're like, oh, okay. So then you go off to find whatever it is that you need. You come back and it's timed out.
Yeah. Absolutely the worst.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Yes. I've put that number 2 for me. For exactly the similar reason, is that... and I had it recently at work, and I'd written quite a bit, and it wasn't so much that it crashed, but it needed me to sign in again, which...
That's not too bad. That's not too bad.
But it lost it. It lost all the stuff.
Oh,
so
well,
it wasn't strictly
yeah,
crashed. Yeah, it lost all the stuff afterwards. But because it needed me to sign in again, but it doesn't tell you that. So it doesn't So you carry on writing. It hasn't it's crashed halfway through. You carry on writing, and then you hit submit, and then it goes, "Oh, you need to sign in again," and then, "Oh, we've lost all your work."
Don't.
Needless to say, the words that I said afterwards were pretty
Yeah,
rude.
I bet.
So your number 4, I won't do a random number for this one, and my number 6 is obviously J, which is autocorrect changing something correctly spelt.
That's pretty annoying. Well, I've only got 3, so it's going to have to go in there.
Oh, I've got 4 according to this.
No, 4 was self-checkout.
Oh, I put it in 3 accidentally. That's why.
Yeah, that's number 3. That probably would have been number 1 because it happens all the time. Yeah.
Oh dear. So your list in order is typing a long form and the website crashes, deleting it.
Yeah.
Slow walkers blocking the pavement. Autocorrect changing something correctly spelt. The self-checkout yelling unexpected item in bag and area. Stepping in something wet in socks.
Yeah.
Getting to bed and realize you forgot to turn the light off. Missing a call, immediately getting "call me" as a text. Opening a crisp packet upside down. Forgetting why you walked into a room, and putting a USB in the wrong way twice.
Yeah. And I think that's fair. Although the only thing I would change, actually, the only 2 things I'd change, I'd put the missed call one at the bottom, and probably so I'd swap that with the USB one, and then autocorrect would be number 1.
Oh, really?
And the long form would be number 3. Yeah, because it happens more often.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that happens daily. Daily. And every time you're like, oh. And if you don't spot it at the time, then you're like, oh. And then it's like, well, I'm sure they know what I mean. It's so annoying. But it's so triggering, because then when if you reread anything, it's
I
like,
enjoy
what
good
the hell?
duck.
Oh, for God's sakes. So annoying. Happens all the time. So that would be my number 1. Those are the only 2 things I'd change. I'd swap that autocorrect with the long form. Because slow walkers, I'd keep at number 2. Because slow walkers is something I encounter almost every day as well. So it's the frequency of it.
Yeah,
it's like death by 1,000 cuts, right? So I would swap those 2. So that, yeah. Otherwise, I'm happy with the list. Pretty much happy with the list.
I mean, my list is pretty accurate to because I obviously know what they are. But yes, just thought it'd be a bit of an amusing thing.
I like it. I like the variable though. I like the variable element of the public and the tide and the. That's a good shout.
Yeah, I mean, because I've just closed it. Hang on, tab. If I look at some of these, and for example, the self-checkout yelling unexpected item in bagging area is something I can cope with, right? I'm really not that bothered with. But if I'm in a rush, you know it's going to happen more frequently.
Well, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen when you're in a rush.
Yeah.
When you least want it to, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's the reality.
And then things like forgetting why you walked into a room happens quite frequently, but I kind of can deal with it. So, yeah, it's a tricky one, isn't it? The type in the long form, and then there's variables to it. So the type in the long form depends on how long the form is.
Yes, and it can be And it doesn't matter if it's not something that happens that often, but when it happens, it's seriously annoying.
Yes, it's not
Isn't
a mild
it?
inconvenience.
It's not a, no.
It's
It is like
annoying.
proper rage. Proper rage. Like you just want to put your fist through the laptop screen.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Many a swear word has been said.
Oh, so frustrating. In fact, somebody who was part of a team that I looked after actually had that as a number one trigger.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, it did like a little quiz thing. It's like, what triggers you the most? And they they did that. And
What
they
was your
talked through
stick
the
in room
situation.
101?
Yeah, it was a room 101. And in fact, it had happened recently. And they were like, yeah, and I literally filled out 3 pages worth of stuff and it trashed it. Like, ouch.
Yeah.
So there's no save and continue option on any of it.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah. Needless to say, on the example that I gave, I then rewrote all of it in like Microsoft Word. Other word processing text editors are available, but in something that wasn't on a website.
Yeah.
And then
that's
copied
the
and
way to
pasted
do
it across.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Yeah. Well, it's 2026. Surely we're in the year of more reliable stuff.
Do you know, I'm going to say something here which I'm going to give a shout out to HMRC. They've got a very, very intuitive, very good website.
Is it? Well, it's gov.uk, isn't it? That does
Gov.uk. Yeah. Is very good.
Yeah, gov.uk is a very, very well-designed thing. In fact, I was reading a Reddit post this morning that was, and this is interesting, right? Because this is quite an interesting question for us. If you could get the rest of the world to adopt a Britishism or something British, what would it be? And somebody had said the gov.uk website. Having been in America and used the American websites, the gov.uk one is hands down the best thing that we've ever done.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things that you think, oh, it's a government thing, so it's going to be shite.
No.
And actually, it is top drawer.
It's maybe because I know some of the people that actually wrote it. It wasn't.
Oh, really?
It wasn't a government. Well, I mean, so the gov.uk website was written around the time just as I was graduating from university. So a lot of us that were software engineers, like there was the community kind of stretches, and it was quite a community that you kind of talk to. So when it first came out, they did a load of talks around all the accessibility and usability studies that they did and everything that needed to be done. And basically the people that designed it went, we involved nobody from the government, basically. Nice. We just said, give us the money and we'll develop it for you, is basically what they did. And that's not to say there's not anybody that's not good in government, but they absolutely made sure that they were quite clear. You need to spend the money. This is going to pay dividends in the future. Yeah.
So they didn't have anyone throwing their 2 pennies worth in that was then going to mess up the user experience. It is a very... gov.uk is a good site.
Very good one.
Yeah,
and
you have to give credit where credit's due.
Yeah. Have they now moved the DVLA over? Because the DVLA was the last one.
They have. So, yeah, because I had to update driver's license and the V5 document details and stuff. And again, the whole experience was pretty damn good.
Yeah, I remember the old one was terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, right? So...
Oh, yeah, it's just such an easy website to use. Yeah. Gov.uk. Yeah, they nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. HMRC. Yeah, we're going to have to do... it's going to be painful because I'm going to Europe, and obviously they've introduced...
you've got to do... Yeah.
Going back to the thing, is there anything... I'll give you a few examples. People said gov.uk website. Another person said the British 3-pin plug.
Yes.
Has been like outstanding piece of design.
Somebody
said queuing, because apparently nobody in other countries can queue.
True.
So yeah, I mean, like, I don't know if there's anything else that we can think of really that we'd want the rest of the world to adapt that we do in Britain that is good.
I know it's slowly deteriorating, but I still think we are, as a nation, we're good when it comes to manners.
Yes. Yes.
I also think we are very good with regards to how we treat animals.
Yeah.
And we're also a very charitable nation.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
And then-
was it Comic Relief the other night was like 80 million.
Right? In a country which is literally being royally shafted from all angles.
Donald Trump!
Not Donald Trump, but even our own government. You know, it just... And, you know, people still reach into their pockets. The other thing as well, NHS.
Yeah. Free healthcare.
It's a biggie. It's a biggie. It's huge.
We discussed before we started the podcast my health thing, and
Right? So...
interestingly, I'm going to say, I think I've said this before, every single person, every single non-doctor, lovely. Absolute gem. Receptionists, nurses, everyone. I've never met such a bunch of lovely people that really want to help. So not only are you there going like, something isn't right with me, doctors have been... like GPs in my new practice, amazing, hands down the best GP practice that I've ever been. Some specialist doctors I've had a bit of tomfoolery here with, and only with male doctors, but otherwise, fabulous. So not only is the NHS great at just being, hey, I've got some free healthcare, so when I'm sick, I'm not going to go bankrupt. But also, I don't know what the teaching is for those people, but they actually seem to start teaching empathy, which is nice. Unlike the rest of the place.
I like the way it has to be taught.
It's a seriously lacking skill in some places, trust me.
Well, yeah, true. I think, I mean, every time I've had to use the NHS, every time, my doctor's surgery is amazing, and every time I've had to use the NHS, everyone's been amazing.
Yeah.
Just faultless.
Yeah.
Faultless.
So
We're lucky. We're very, very lucky.
Yeah, we want the rest of the world to adopt everything to do, like the the British plug, the NHS,
Yeah.
or at least, National Health Service,
Gov.uk.
and the ability... Pardon?
Gov.
Yeah, gov.uk. Yes.
Yeah.
Honestly, because I've had to do an ESTA, and the American website is awful.
Yeah, the American website's shocking.
I don't know who designed that,
shocking.
but they were clearly blind.
It's awful. I've only had to do it once, luckily, and it was awful.
I've had to do it twice, and both times awful. I do love the fact that they have a question is, are you a terrorist? Is basically the question that they have. What is the question they have? The question, I think, is stated, are you or have you ever been a terrorist? That is a genuine question on the ESTA application form. Yeah.
As you do.
Yeah, they do.
And of course, there's, why would you lie on that form? Fuck's sakes. Numpties.
Oh, dear. Right.
We're keeping you up.
Yes.
What time did you wake up this morning?
Too early.
Well, how early? Well, I mean, too early for you. It's going to be like ridiculously early.
No, interesting. No, actually, no. Actually, what's my watch saying? Because obviously I've changed. I've got 8 hours 22 sleeps. Plenty of deep sleep. Look at that. I was awake a little bit earlier than I wanted. I suspect actually it's more I haven't drunk enough today.
Okay. Cheers.
What was I saying? No, actually interesting, that's one of the things, the health things that I have changed recently is I don't set an alarm anymore at all. I wake up when I naturally wake up. Now normally I wake up
during the week?
Yeah, even during the week.
All right.
But I go to bed at sort of like 8, 9 o'clock, so there's very little risk of me sleeping until 10 a.m. and missing work.
Yeah, unless you're not
like
feeling well or something. But
yeah, and then I should be going into work anyway. I will set an alarm for specific events, right? So when we had Taekwondo squad, and I knew I needed to be leaving the house by 7, it's like, okay, I need to set an alarm for like 6 o'clock to make sure I've got enough time to get up and get ready. Ironically, I was awake literally like 2 minutes before the alarm anyway, but sod's law. So yeah, that was one of the biggest changes, which means that generally I sleep for as long as my body wants me to sleep, which is just lovely. And as soon as I've got a gym, when I finish the gym in the house, I will then Like, I'll never have an alarm, like, even if I want to go to the gym early on a weekend. Oh, the only other time is for the Formula One.
Oh, I was going to say, well, yeah.
Did you see I don't know if you saw my Super Saturday. So, my Super Saturday, folks, for those that aren't aware. So, last weekend was the Chinese Grand Prix. And it was a sprint weekend, and I think I've explained before on the podcast what a sprint weekend is, but basically free practice 1 is at normal time, then you have sprint qualifying instead of free practice 2, and then you have a sprint race instead of free practice 3, and then you have a normal qualifying where the qualifying is and a race when the race is. So normally that's, if we take a European race, free practice 1 is normally around about 2 p.m. on the Friday, midday on the Friday, free practice 2 is around about 3 p.m. on the Friday, and then again it's like midday, 3 p.m., and then normally 2 p.m. for the race, right? So basically the timings are all sort of the same. But for China, that's Shanghai time. It's currently 7 p.m., so they're 8 hours ahead, which meant that the race started 8 hours earlier. So free practice 1 was at 3 o'clock in the morning on Friday. The sprint qualifying was at 7 a.m. on the Friday. The sprint race was at 3 o'clock in the morning on the Saturday, and the actual qualifying then was 7 a.m. on the Saturday, and the race was 7 a.m. on the Sunday. So I wasn't bothered about the free practice because that's just that's them to get things right. So watched the 7 a.m. one on the Friday. That was fine. I was up normal time. Watched it just before work. Whoop-de-doo. On the Saturday, I got up at 2:45, watched the sprint race, then went over to the gym, which is 24-hour, came back, watched the qualifying, and then realised it was only 8 o'clock in the morning and I'd already been awake for like 5 hours.
I remember that. I do remember. Because I messaged you, I was like, what? Well, I don't know if I messaged you, but I remember reading it thinking...
Well, I messaged everybody when I woke up at 2:45. Assuming that most people have their phones on silent. I'm not one of these people to be like, I'm not going to message now in case it wakes them up.
Yeah, no.
If it wakes you up, that's your own bloody fault.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I got time for
Yeah, I remember that. You're crazy.
So yeah, I am crazy. That's the only time I had this. Right, we've got... So, Jerry, this is kind of half your section. Because you messaged going, you've got an underrated. You wanted to do things that were underrated or things that were overrated. Was it?
Yeah.
What did you message?
Yeah. Things. That's right. Things which are. Oh, no. I think I just said overrated,
we were talking
but
about philosophers.
Sorry, say that again.
Sorry, I was in the wrong chat room, so I was looking at philosophers.
Oh right.
Hang on a minute. Such an in-joke.
Yeah, definitely rappers. If you look up rap album covers from the 80s and 90s,
yeah,
right? That's all I'm going to say on that.
Oh dear. We should do a list of what we think is overrated.
Overrated, yeah.
Yeah. So let me split this. So we've got 2 sections because the first section is a little bit different. I assume you're on the document.
I am.
Yeah, you are. So the first section is the first 5 are going to be whether we think they're overrated or underrated.
Okay.
And then your section is to find something that we think is overrated in that category and underrated in that category.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'm going to have to do an absolute Operation Wing It.
Yeah, go for it. It's what I do all the time.
I'm completely winging this podcast. I've had no time for prep. I dug a hole yesterday and I got no time to do anything. What's annoying is I dug a hole then filled the hole back in, but...
Well, at least you could do that. And you could get out.
Okay, underrated or overrated air fryers?
So I literally got an air fryer about a week ago. And it's brilliant. I love it.
So you think they're underrated?
Well,
or are they just rated? I don't know what is
they're
if
just
they
rated. The thing is, everybody that's got an air fryer raves about the air fryer. So it's not like I haven't heard anybody say, "Oh yeah, air fryers, they're not all that." Yeah. So they're not exactly underrated.
They're rated.
And they're not exactly overrated either. As you say, they're just rated.
Is that the word for it?
Yeah, I think so. It lives up to expectations. I'm looking at it now. It's sitting on the kitchen top. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Mine have to be in a cupboard, but that's fine. I don't have one. Just going back to etymology on that. You can be dishevelled, but you can't be shevelled.
No. What's the opposite of dishevelled?
Exactly.
I need to look that up now. That's bugging me.
Because you can also be overwhelmed and underwhelmed, but you can't just be whelmed.
No.
That's why I said the overrated, underrated.
It's just rated.
It's just rated.
It is
correctly
rated. It's just it's correctly rated. Absolutely. Because I've never heard anyone say anything bad about an air fryer. Not once. It's incredible. Hundreds and hundreds of people over time who I've spoken to about their air fryer, and they're like, "Oh, it's amazing, and it can do this and it can do that," and you're like, "Oh, okay." And then now I've got one and I get it. Yeah, now I've got one and I totally get it.
Oh dear.
I'm just having a look. What's the opposite of dishevelled?
Dishevelled.
The opposite of dishevelled, meaning messy or untidy, is tidy, neat, or ordered. There you go.
I prefer to say shevelled.
Shovels.
Oh dear. Okay. Underrated, overrated. Voice notes instead of texting.
I think it's underrated.
You think it's underrated, so you think that they're better than what people say they are?
Yeah.
I am very torn. Because I like sending voice notes. I hate receiving voice notes.
Really? Why?
Yes. So, I hate receiving voice notes, and it's because it depends on the context. So, a voice note, like a text message, I can read part of the text message, and then I'm like, oh, that's really long, and then I can read a bit of it, I can read a bit of it, I can read a bit of it, and I go, oh, I forgot that bit, and I can go back up. Voice notes, especially if there's something ridiculous like 11 minutes, and I've been guilty of sending an 11-minute voice note, by the way, plus, I find them really difficult because I've got to set aside 11 minutes to sit and listen to this voice note. I can't just, read it. And also, if you get a voice note and you're out in public and you don't have headphones, you can't respond.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I'm really torn and conflicted about voice notes because I do like using them on occasions, but I would normally text unless it got to the point where it's like, okay, I can't explain this well in a text message quickly, so I need to do that. So I think they are specific and they have specific points to them rather than you should use them all the time.
Yeah, I wouldn't use them all the time. Like if I was, if I was saying, I was like going to message you to say, right, Dom, I'm on my way. Yeah. I'll see you in half an hour. I won't leave you a voice note to say that.
No.
Right? But I think they're underrated because I think it's easier to understand sometimes and it's easier to understand a voice note. Yes. In the way that it's communicated, it's easier to articulate yourself in a voice note. I think
you can't
when you're trying to communicate something. Yeah, when you're trying to communicate something quite complicated or quite emotive, and especially if it's something quite emotive, I think the tone. You can set the tone in a voice note, and there's a lot more you can do in a voice note because it's that next level of interaction, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
no, I don't disagree. Like I think they have a time and a place.
They do have a time and a place, but I think people forget that you can leave voice notes.
Yeah, I have one other massive beef, and I need to find out if there is ever going to be on a roadmap for something. So obviously WhatsApp is the normal place that you use voice notes, but I'm sure you can do it in iMessage for iPhones, but WhatsApp is universal between the two. Why, for all of love nor money, when I'm in the car and I want to reply on WhatsApp which you have to speak? Does it do text to speech? Why doesn't it just fucking leave a voice note?
Oh, I didn't know that.
It doesn't.
I didn't know that.
If I'm driving and you hit reply, it will do text to speech. Why can it not just record a voice note when you're in the car? Because that would be so much better and probably slightly safer.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with that. I don't know.
I also need to do an experiment. I need somebody to send a voice note to me when I'm in the car and to see if when it receives, if it will play it out loud.
Okay, well, let me know when you're next going to be in your car, and I'll leave you a voice note.
Yeah. But I cannot understand. It drives me nuts that it does voice to text. It doesn't just leave a voice note.
That's pretty frustrating.
Because it never gets it right when you do voice to text. It never does.
No, that's true.
Gonna put mine. Okay, number 3. Underrated, overrated. Sunday roasts at pubs.
Overrated.
Overrated, ooh.
Because I think nothing beats a homemade roast. Nothing's ever going to match that. So it's never going to meet expectations. So for me, it's always going to be overrated. Every single time I've had a roast in a pub, really expensive roast. I've been to some really nice pubs. And it's never quite. Well, I say it's never quite. I don't think I've come across a roast that's been good enough for me to say, oh, that's as good as homemade.
Okay. See,
they've been okay. They've been good, but
yeah, you think they're overrated?
I think they're overrated.
I think they're just rated. I think the opinion of people is kind of like you can be divided on it. And I've had some good ones. I've had some bad ones. I think maybe for me it's a little bit more like underrated. Like I prefer it, and the reason being is because, well, I live on my own, so to make a roast for me would be pointless. And what I'd like about pubs is that I could go there and I know I could have, they'll have stuffing and they'll have they'll have like 46 different kinds of vegetables, where I'm only going to do myself like 2 or 3 because A, I'm not going to buy that many, and B, I can't be asked to do that many. So I think that's what I like. I like the ability to have like different.
Yeah, I think that's different. So for example, I'd never make a roast at home. Yeah, maybe it is. It depends on context, I guess. If for somebody who's single, I'm not gonna make a roast for myself. That's insane, right? So if I fancied a roast, if I really was craving a roast, I'd go to a pub, which serves the purpose. So it's rated. Then I'm not going to the pub with then expectations of like. But if it's like a big family get together and you go out
Christmas
for a roast, it's not the same.
No, Christmas dinner should be done at home.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe. Do you know what? Maybe change it. I'll change it to rated. I think rated. Yeah,
rated. Okay. Underrated, overrated, controversial one here. Working from home.
So, see, I don't know how to answer that. For me, it ticks all the boxes. I've had so many people say, "Oh, I could never work from home because I wouldn't be self-disciplined enough, and I'd just get easily distracted, and etc. etc." I've been working from home for the last 5 years, and it suits me down to the ground. So that's a difficult one to call. So for me, it's not like... I mean, most people I've come across will say, oh, I work from home and I love it. It's great. So, again, probably just rated. It depends on what the viewpoint of it. I think definitely from a if you're viewing it through the lens of a corporate and somebody that's setting...
I think it's underrated. I don't think people realise how much freedom. How am I going to put this? I think it's underrated as a general thing, because I think that people always go, "Oh, you're going to miss the social aspect of work." and you're gonna, restaurants and pubs and stuff like that are gonna miss you having your lunchtime thing. I think it's underrated because if all of the jobs that could be done remotely were done remotely, the world would set up different ways to introduce those things. So you'd probably end up with things like 15-minute, what they call 15-minute cities, which everyone thinks is a bad idea, which is ridiculous. Like, you need to get in the bin. Absolutely, right? I'm saying it here, Room 101. People that deny anything that's good for climate, in the bin. And so, while, like, people that have changed, because the society is still set up for non-remote work, if we were just set up for remote work, we would do that. Now, obviously, there are jobs that you can't do non-remote, like hospitals and bits and pieces like that. But you could absolutely change the world to be slightly different, right? There would be, instead of like having like everything in a central place because everybody comes to work in a central place and everyone leaves to work in a central place, you'd have smaller, more consistent things, which means that people could go and work locally. Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you'd have a collection of houses, then there'd probably be like a collection of like, eateries and, convenience pharmacies and stuff like that. You'd have more smaller like hospitals maybe and things like that. So suddenly people then aren't travelling 2 hours to get to a location, working an 8-hour NHS shift where they're going to be tired and may make a mistake because they've commuted 2 hours, and then commuting 2 hours back only to do that. And I said 8-hour shift, and I'm aware that NHS people actually do 12-hour shifts and they're heroes, but you get my point. So suddenly you're going to get smaller, more local communities, and then because you don't have that social aspect, hopefully they'd start to set up things what they call like, the third place you go. Work, home, the third place. Those social things. People have more time to do hobbies, which means that I don't have to, I don't want to go to the pub and meet all the people that want to go to the pub because that sounds horrible and ridiculous. But you would, I'd go and meet people that, maybe there'd be more running clubs that I could join, or, taekwondo is a good social aspect. Yeah. So I think that working from home is underrated and that we aren't utilising it correctly. The other bit people say is that, it's the death of the high street and bits and pieces like that. Yes, absolutely. People don't want to do that. People prefer the online convenience of buying stuff that way because you can get it quicker, cheaper, and usually with more quality, and you don't have to shove it in your car, right? If you're buying a sofa, I'm not going to go down, right? But you still need places. A sofa's actually a bad idea because you still need to go and test sofas. But you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
If I'm going to buy a fridge freezer, I don't need to necessarily go and see it. Does it fit? Yes. A fridge freezer, does it have fancy? Has it got ads in it? Don't get me started on that. No. Great. I'll have that one then. Because it hasn't got a screen. So my point being is, I think it's massively underrated because I think if you then geared the world to be a bit more for just remote working in the right way, then yeah. And then there are companies that do remote working and they bring people together, but they take them to like a place where they all get together, spend a few days together, get to know people, and then everybody goes and works having met these new people.
Yeah.
Underrated.
The only thing I will say though, from my perspective, is I think the high streets need to be protected to some degree, like the smaller businesses and stuff, because
yes, the high street for me is at the moment is full of cafes and stuff like that, but I have no reason to go and visit them. Whereas if we had all these 15-minute things and the high street was 15 minutes walk away, that's my point.
I mean, the high street for me is a 2-minute walk away. And yet so many, because of rates and spiralling costs, and because of people buying stuff online and things, that you've got a lot of shops that close. So then you just end up with the same types of shops that then open up in their place, like cafes or betting shops or charity shops or
money laundering shops.
Right? Yeah, exactly. So I think it'd be nice to actually just protect the high street. Personally.
Nice. But hopefully, and for me, then it's just added benefit, right? We have less cars on the road, less emissions.
Yeah.
And I say this is a petrol head.
But also, and also people are less tired. When you work from home, you've got a better work-life balance. It's better for mental health. If you've got self-discipline,
Yes, and this is my point, right? So this is why I think it's underrated, is because if everything was set up to be remote working, like life would adapt. Life would be more inclined to help you do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I like the flexibility. I like the fact that I could get up at 7 o'clock, do a bit of work before anybody else gets online, and then go and have breakfast, then go and have a 2-hour lunch to go to the gym or something like that, or do some gym work, go for a run, whatever, and then come back, finish the day, and then I normally finish about 4, have a bit of dinner, and then I come back sort of about 5:30 to sort of, or 5 till 6 o'clock when everyone's disappeared, and then I go through all the emails and set up the tasks for the next day, and that's worked really well for me. So yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, I suppose when it doesn't matter how you look at it, it's underrated.
Yeah, underrated. Cool. Okie dokie. Last one on underrated, overrated. Smart homes / Alexa. So there are other things. I shouldn't say that too loud because my will go off.
It still remembers from when you spilt water on it.
I've done it. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
You're drowning me. She's still going. I got that for free in 2016.
No way.
Water's been spilt on it. I've moved house. It's like all kinds of gubbins, and it's still going strong. I use it for one thing, by the way, so it might give you a clue to what my No, I don't use it for music because the speaker on it is terrible.
Oh, okay.
And it's been water spilt on it, so it sounds like
weather. Do you use it for the weather? No.
Timers. That's it.
Timers. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Because it's in the living room, so but it can pick up my voice when I'm in the kitchen, so it'll be wake word, set timer for 20 minutes, and then I can hear it when I'm sat in the living room waiting for something to happen. That's the only thing I use it for.
Okay.
So my answer is overrated. I think these are overrated.
I think it's overrated as well. Yeah. I just don't see the point of. I don't see the point of having. I think for some of it, it's technology for technology's sake, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So,
don't get me wrong. I like the fact that I can now set a time. Like I've got an app for my heating, but it's not smart. It's just setting a schedule for my heating via an app, and the fact that I can see the solar panels and what they're generating and stuff like that. But I don't do anything clever. It's just information.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. And there are certain bits of smart tech that I wouldn't want. So, for example, I quite like the fact that I still have to put a key in my door and unlock the door with a key. Like, if you gave me electronic pin pad,
yeah. No, I this is what I mean. That's where, for me, it starts becoming technology for technology's sake.
So there's I can't believe I'm saying this. There's a company, I think it's called, I can't remember what it's called, and I don't want to endorse them because I'm not sure I'm on it, but they have a product which basically is a mattress. So it costs like £2,000, and then the subscription per year is nearly 400 quid. It's extortionately expensive, but it basically is supposed to monitor your sleep and make you more comfortable. So it's like temperature controlled on the mattress. Like, it does all kind of clever things. Like, it can make itself softer and firmer and things like that. However, when we had that outage on Amazon, because it all runs through the Amazon cloud, it runs through the Amazon cloud things, people couldn't sleep because when the app runs through the Amazon cloud, all of them lost connection, and its default is to just set the heater on. And this was in July. So people were in bed like, wait, I can't use my bed because it's too hot. Because it lost connection to the cloud.
Right.
And that's where as a tech and as a security, person that studies security and bits and pieces, there are certain things I'm like, no.
Yeah, exactly. You have
give me a physical key to turn it on. Just give me a normal mattress.
Normal mattress.
My temperature control is duvet on, duvet off, leg out, leg in. That's
exactly.
That's temperature control.
Right? this is what I mean. It takes it too far.
Yes.
Yeah.
Overrated.
That's a fantastic example, actually. Just something that says, so sounds good on paper. You go, oh, that's really clever. Like when you first started describing it, and I was thinking, oh, actually, that's quite smart. But until something goes wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the price is extortionate. It's
that's
so
bad.
expensive.
That's crazy. Yeah.
The fact that you've got to pay upfront and a subscription.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy. And that would be my biggest nervous to have like an electronic keypad or one that you could open with your phone, is that what happens if Amazon decides to go down or the internet decides to go down? All it takes is a DNS server could go off, and those that are tech savvy, it's always DNS. Domain name server, just as an FYI, and what a domain name server does is it goes www.google.co.uk is pointing to this IP address. That's all it does. It's just a list of stuff. But if they go down, the internet doesn't know where to route the traffic because it doesn't know how to translate www.google.co.uk to a IP address. That's my very basic kind of DNS server explanation for those that don't know what a DNS server is. But like, if one of those goes down and your app can't talk to your, to the your door handle that you've put on to have a smart thing, what do you do? How do you get into your house?
You have to literally break in.
Yeah, no, I ain't got time for that.
Yeah.
Not got time for that. Don't get me wrong, there are small bits that I like, but I actually will not be putting in too much. So, a good example, we went to we talked about the light switch in bed.
Yeah.
Right. So I sort of sat there. Why don't all houses have a light switch by the bed like they do in like Premier Inns, where you've got one where you can come in and then you've got one in Premier Inns? Why don't we do that?
I don't know. It's a good point. It's a good question.
So Katie,
yeah, I don't know.
We've met Katie. So Katie's other half is an electrician, and he's going to come and help me do some of the electrics around here, because I've got some stupid things, like the door to my living room opens outwards and to the left, and the light switch for the room is on the left-hand side of the wall, so the door covers it.
Of course it would be.
So when I get him to move, I'm going to get him to move some of those things. But when I do the one in the bedroom, when I get my bedroom redone, I'm going to put a light switch next to the bed because I can.
Sense. That makes sense, yeah.
It's just money and expense, but convenience, yes please. But I'm not going to do it by some like smart thing. It's just going to be a cable that just goes into the wire and just flicks it on and off.
Well, back in the 80s, they had a thing where, like, if you clap twice,
the
light would switch off.
Yes.
Or back on again. So it's like a voice activated, yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
But that was back in the 80s. Like, that should be a standard thing.
Yeah, I can see why it wouldn't crack on, and it might go down a very rude junction if I carry on with bedroom.
Oh yeah,
clapping.
okay, yeah. Yeah, true.
Buddy, you can't tell me off for that one.
Brilliant.
Right. Next one, we've got five topics which you've put in, Jerry.
I'm going to leave the last one out. I'm going to leave the last one out, so we'll keep it 4.
Well, I'm interested to hear your thoughts on it.
No.
Because it could be included as an underrated or overrated.
No, I'm not going to... No, it's too... Everyone falls into that camp. They either get staunchly... They get very,
don't want to do it. It's controversial.
No.
Right,
no. Let's leave that last one out.
Okay.
Okay, so overrated films.
Overrated films. What did I think that was terrible that everyone thinks is brilliant? Is basically what I did. I'm proper winging it. You might have to kick this off.
I think. This is. You want controversial?
Yeah, these are going to be
controversial,
for
right?
the overrated ones.
Anything that's the Marvel DC universe.
No, I'm with you on that. Do you think they're overrated?
Totally.
I think they're balanced. I agree. I can see why.
You're going to go rated.
Yes, I think they're more rated because some of them are incredible films, like individually, like the first Iron Man with Robert Downey Jr. is genuinely a good film. And then some of the other films did get slated by the critics for being genuinely rubbish, and they were genuinely rubbish. I think as a concept, I agree with you on the Overrated.
I think even on the execution of it as well. I just find them overrated and formulaic.
Do you mean
and
individual
boring.
films, or do you mean like the whole thing?
Both.
Yeah. I agree with you on the whole thing, because it leads to too many kind of cross wires. Oh, you forgot what happened 4 films ago and suddenly we're doing something completely contradictory. We never tied up that loose end. Yeah. I agree.
I wasn't expecting you to answer to say that, but
No.
To
say
say
that I disagree with you completely.
Yeah. But I understand your rationale, and I understand and
I've got a very controversial one.
Go on.
In a minute. Oh, an Overrated, but Karen. No, the reason being, because obviously I stopped watching stuff because there was too much. There's too much. When there's like a film out every week, every like year, and a TV show now as well, and you're trying to keep up, the whole universe idea, and everybody wants to do it. Like, they made Jurassic Park a universe. They made Godzilla a universe. It doesn't need to be done. Let me just watch a film.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree.
I will disagree. I think there are some very good individual films in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. There are some absolutely incredible ones. Star Wars has this problem. I think anything where you build too much of a universe, you suddenly don't tie off loose ends and you forget something, or you wrote a film in like 1974 and then in 2008 you completely contradict something because you forgot, or because modern technology can now do it. So I think a universe. I was just looking down films around ones, and I'm going to say one that is going to upset a lot of people that I think is massively overrated, and that is the film Up.
I'm with you on that.
I'm just about to be killed by everybody. I think Up is overrated.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
I think it's in that era of Disney film. Is it Disney? It's not Disney, is it?
Yeah, it is, isn't it? No.
Oh, it's Pixar, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's now Disney Pixar, isn't it? But
yeah, Disney Pixar. There we go. Yes, I thought it was Pixar, but I wasn't sure if it was that. Yeah, I think that it is overrated. It's very sad, and I get at points, and I get it. I just think it's overrated. It just isn't that. It's not as funny as it's not the funniest one. It's got a bit too much cringe comedy for my liking, and I don't think the journey that the old man goes on is like makes sense to me.
Yeah,
but
I know. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
I think
so you're not alone. Okay.
Underrated films.
Oh, we're doing underrated on these.
Oh, you want to do an underrated film as well, or
no? I was saying no. I was thinking just overrated.
Oh well, let's see if we can come up with an underrated one as well. One that you particularly like that you think everyone. A fat finger in this. I know why an underrated film.
Go on.
And you've watched it. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
I love Pilgrim. Right.
I know most people don't like it.
I think for me it's going to be. I don't know. Is it underrated? I think generally. You got when people who like the film are massive fans of it. But generally, people aren't that bothered about it, and that's the film Snatch. Whenever I mention the film Snatch, they go, "Oh yeah, but I preferred Lock, Stock." And I think Snatch as a standalone film is just phenomenal. I think Guy Ritchie's best film. I mean, there's
Guy Ritchie film?
Yeah, there are hardly any lines in there that are not quotable.
I love a good quotable film.
Oh,
I haven't seen it. So I need to watch
literally, you haven't seen it?
No, I've not seen Snatch.
Oh my god, Dom! Oh, you're in for a treat.
I've not
Such
seen
a
many
good film.
Guy Ritchie films. I've only seen What one's
You've seen the
I saw
Ministry
it-
of Ungentlemanly Warfare,
Yeah,
haven't you?
that's
Yeah.
the most recent one I've seen.
Oh, you should. You ought to, if you liked that, if you enjoyed that. I'm not saying that it's going to be your favourite film, but if you enjoyed that, you'll enjoy Snatch. It's
Having a look
brilliant.
What Guy Ritchie has made.
Oh, he's done loads.
Yes, I've done the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. I've seen The Man from U.N.C.L.E. That's good. That's really good.
That was
Yes,
with
that's got
God.
Michael
What's-
Fassbender,
That's right.
Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill. What's the other actor's name?
Is it Michael Fassbender? Not Michael Fassbender's not in it.
I thought he played a part. He's not the main. The two main characters we're talking about. God, what's what's the actor's name? Armie Hammer is the
Armie
other
Hammer,
main
yes.
actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got Alicia Vikander in it as well.
Now, funnily enough, I didn't know that was Guy Ritchie. I didn't know that was a Guy Ritchie film.
Yeah, it's a Guy Ritchie film. Yeah, it's a great film. I love The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
It's good. It's a good film.
He also did Sherlock Holmes with Robert Downey Jr.
That film, the Man from U.N.C.L.E., that's the scene where they're in the toilets and then
Yes.
he ends up in the fight. Yeah, that's brilliant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great. That's a great film. Yeah, no, I've not seen Snatch. It's the second second film that he made. So
It is just superb. Yeah.
okay, books, overrated books.
This is easy for me. Easy. And there are quite a lot to choose from. I think probably the number one most overrated was The Catcher in the Rye. J.D. Salinger. It's been hailed as like an iconic book. It was a game changer. It was banned at one point back in the 50s because, was it 50s or 60s? I can't remember. But it was banned at one point in a lot of schools in America because it was too rebellious and too out there. And there's so much hype about The Catcher in the Rye, and it's just hailed as a literary classic. And then I ended up reading it, and I deliberately made a point of reading it when I was in my teens. So I read it when I was 15, and I thought, right, if there's any time to read it, right, because it's about a rebellious teenager, you might as well read it when you're in your teens. And I read it, and I was like, what the hell is this? And then I reread it again about, I don't know, 10, 15 years later, and I thought, this is still shockingly bad.
Oh, I know what you mean. I've got two.
Go on.
I've got one self-help and I've got one series. The self-help book, or self-help book, I can use air quotes, The Alchemist.
You see, I've never read that, but I've heard so much about it. And
I read The Alchemist. Okay, fine. I thought it was average. Didn't teach me that much more. And then Mel Robbins talks about it in her books and says it was brilliant. Here's a bit of the story behind it, and she did like a 2-line about it and the message that it brings. And then I reread The Alchemist and went, okay, I get it a bit more. I think The Alchemist is very difficult to kind of understand. It's similar to the another book that I've read. Overrated is the wrong thing, right? I get the premise behind it, but like everyone was like, "This is so amazing," and I was like, "Well, it's just a book. I'm not really sure." Like, it's kind of common sense a little bit. So I think that's that.
It got loads of hype, though. It did get loads.
It's got a lot of hype, and the story behind him writing it. Don't get me wrong. I think it's probably it is a good book. It just didn't resonate with me, so that's why I just think it's overrated. Right. The other one that I think is a little bit overrated, I think, is the Jack Reacher series. Lee Childs, who wrote that. I think I really struggled with those books. I'm now going to it's going to annoy myself if I. It is its lead child, Jack Reacher, and I've only read the first one, and apparently it's one of the better ones. But maybe I went into it with in the wrong way. But yeah, I think they're a little bit overrated. I think it's a bit overrated, which is why I haven't watched the television series and bits and pieces like that.
The series is good.
Mm.
Because there was a film that Tom Cruise.
There was a film with
starred
Tom
in.
Cruise, which is ridiculous because Jack Reacher is like said to be like 6'5", massive.
Yeah.
So you get Tom Cruise is 5'7" at most.
Exactly. So the film didn't quite work. I mean, it's okay, but I don't know. It was a very forgettable film, but the series I thought was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
I haven't read the books, so can't comment on that.
What's his name who plays the guy? Who plays him in the Amazon series? Alan Richardson.
Alan, that's it. Yeah, it's worth what, Dom. It's worth watching. It is actually worth watching.
I'll put it up. It's probably on there. And maybe it was just. I think I've only listened to it in audiobook, and maybe the person that was reading it wasn't great. Because I've had that before. So, for example,
that can make a difference.
Oh no! That now I've just thought of the one that is definitely overrated, regardless of how you put it, and that is the Hunger Games series. That is so overrated and needs to be put in the bin. It's unbelievable because
I haven't read.
Don't bother. Like I would rather just carve out my eyes. It's terrible. Right. The person that read that book was so miserable and whiny, and I got like 3/4 of the way through it and was like, Katniss just needs to shut up. Like, she needs to suck it up because, God, she's a whiny bitch. Yes, Hunger Games, sorry, I'm change my tune, because I think I just was expected something different, and it wasn't. It was a thriller rather than an action. But The Hunger Games just genuinely is a terrible book and is overrated.
Have you seen the films?
Yes, and they're also awful.
Yeah, I haven't seen the films either.
Nope. Overrated. If there's anything that's overrated, it's that.
Okay.
Underrated.
Underrated books.
This is easy for me.
I'm not. So.
Well, they may be rated.
Yeah, I was thinking the books. So I'm not going to choose a particular book, but I'm going to choose a particular author who I think is underrated generally.
Okay.
Because again, he's one of those authors who people who know his work will say, yeah, he's just phenomenal. And he was so it's an author called Haruki Murakami, and he's written some incredible books. His mind is, in fact, yeah, because the other author that I couldn't choose as underrated, because pretty much like half his books have been made into films, is Philip K. Dick, but not many people have heard of him or read any of his books, but they know his films. So maybe from a book perspective, he's also underrated. But I'd say him and Haruki Murakami, the two authors who not many. It's kind of like if you know, you know.
Yeah.
And if you don't, then when you try and explain that.
Philip K. Dick, I was just looking, but yeah, I didn't realise he did Blade Runner, Minority Report, Total Recall.
Yeah, what's the one with Tom Cruise when you've got the woman in the bathtub? What's the one where he's doing this with his? He's got like the screen, and he's moving stuff around. Flipping egg. What's that?
I don't really know what to search. You might know what to search.
Minority Report. That's it.
Minority Report. Oh, Minority Report, is it?
Keanu Reeves actually did a sort of semi-animated film of one of his books as well, and that book is incredible.
He
called
did
A
Man in the
Scanner
High Castle
Darkly.
as well.
Yeah, Man in the High Castle, A Scanner Darkly. The Scanner Darkly was... that book is incredible. Ubik is another incredible book. The concepts, the ideas, the stuff that this guy came up with was just next level. But you say to anybody, have you read anything by Philip K. Dick? They'll be like, no. I bet you've probably watched. He did Running Man.
Yeah, he did Running Man as well. Yeah.
No, was that him? No. Was that him or no? Sorry, he didn't.
Total Recall.
That was Stephen King. Total Recall.
Yeah.
Yeah, Total Recall.
Total Recall.
Which is based on a short story called "We Can Remember It For You Wholesale."
Okay.
Right. Blade Runner. The actual working title of Blade Runner. The story is "Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep?"
Yes, I did know that one because there's a quote in the film.
Yeah.
Such a good film.
Such a good film. I mean, the books, the stories are just unbelievable. So yeah, Haruki Murakami and Philip K. Dick, definitely.
Nice. So underrated for me. I think the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo series is underrated.
Yeah,
it's probably my favourite books. So series of books, incredible. I've only read the first 3, which were written by Steg Larsson, and not like. Well, he then died, unfortunately, from a heart attack and didn't get to finish it. But he had like such a web that he could have grown. But fortunately, the 3rd book like ends on a nice. We're done, wrapped it up. No cliffhangers or anything like that. Just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So yeah, definitely underrated. And also shout out to The Martian, but I think that's just rated because that's just a great book.
That's rated. That's rated because people like the film and they love the book as well. So
yeah. I need to read the other 2 now, which is Project Hail Mary and Artemis.
Artemis,
yeah. Andy Weir has written, who, interestingly, is also a ex-software engineer. Which is why he's got a lot of his accuracies. Underrated, overrated. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to answer this one, Jerry, but you've put coffee.
Yeah, true. I think it's overrated.
Just generally, coffee.
Yeah, I think just generally it is because we are a nation of tea drinkers and there are so many different types of tea. But nobody talks about tea. Everyone's just fixated on coffee and it's kind of annoying. And I think I get annoyed about how much... I get annoyed about the fact that you get charged so much for coffee as well, and there almost seems to be like this whole culture around coffee.
Go into like a Starbucks and there's like 47 brands of coffee, and it's like, I want a tea.
Yeah, exactly, right. And but it's just the whole thing around tea's just been completely overlooked. Like coffee's just completely taken over. There's so much hype around coffee, so for me, it's overrated.
I mean, I agree.
Right, and it's too bloody expensive. So
because I go into a coffee shop
as well.
Can't have any of these.
What do you get? Just a bottle of water or something?
Normally, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I forgot. I completely forgot about the hot drink thing. So yeah, but look, there's no more discussion to be had. I'm sure everyone listening to this will agree. Coffee is overrated. It's overpriced and it's overrated. I challenge anyone to think otherwise.
Oh dear, I think there'll be a few. Right, we've got 3 more sections, but we've been recording for quite a while now. So Jerry, which section?
Yeah, I've got to take Larry out as well.
Yeah, poor Larry. Which section would you like to discuss for the last 20 minutes or so? Got the book club review of the previous 2 episodes that you got to watch as a fan, or we could do poignant questions.
Well, you're not going to do book club.
We could do book club, but we can save book club for when you've read it as well.
Oh yeah, true. Let's do poignant questions.
Let's do poignant questions. All right, let's keep it nice and light-hearted. Wonderful. We've only got 5, so this could be like over in 5 minutes, or it could be over in like... And these are so random, I'm very sorry. If ducks had jobs, what would most of them do?
I think... I think there'd be middle management. Middle management.
Rude. You're calling me a duck.
Yeah, they would. I think they would. I think there'd be
Middle
people
management.
managers, not of like extensively large teams,
Okay.
up to about 50.
To
That's
be
what
fair,
think they'd do.
I suppose mother ducks are very good when they've got like a what is it? Collective group
Flock.
of. Yeah.
Okay, bear with me.
I'm looking it up. A flock. It is a flock.
It is a flock. Okay.
Oh, well. A group of ducks is most commonly called a flock, but specific terms vary by location. A paddling or raft is used for ducks on water, so a paddling of ducks. While a waddling or a plump refers to them on land.
Oh,
So a plump of...
that's cute. Yeah, they're good. They're good organisers, and they're good at herding, and they're good at getting people to getting ducklings to move in the right direction.
I was going to make some jest about another job role that I'd say they'd be quite good at that, would they?
Well, probably.
Oh, dear. Put that on your feather cap.
Yeah. Oh, very good.
I'll bill you later.
Oh, very good. Oh my god!
Oh,
It's usually
dear.
me doing the dad jokes. So you're on full today.
I'm on full,
What?
like...
What would you say they do? Then?
I was I was trying to think about this because I was like, what are they going to do with like lakes and stuff like that? It's going to be like an environmental specialist or something like that. But I think they'd be bus drivers.
What?
Because they gather all the ducklings together very, very easily, and then they all follow. So I think they make great bus drivers.
How do they reach the pedals?
Well, I've thought of it.
Okay, you haven't thought of the practical element of it, but that's fine.
I've
It's
just
also
gone,
the fact
what
that
they
like, I
would likely
haven't.
do. They'd be bus
Yeah.
drivers.
Yeah, and I haven't thought of the practical element either. Of which, like, how would they type anything? How would they be able to use a keyboard? How would they? They wouldn't be able to get people on a Teams meeting.
Yeah.
So
Other
that's fine.
other
And all the other things they're
video
not capable of doing.
conferencing software is available.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's true. Skype, whatever, etc.
Skype even exist anymore? That's what
I don't
Teams
know,
became,
actually.
isn't it?
I did like Skype. I actually did like Skype. I thought it was a good.
Skype is retiring in May the 5th, so Revenge of the Fifth Day, in 2025. It retired last year. Wow.
I did not know that. Okay.
Wow. Fair enough. Poignant question number 2. If gravity turned off for 3 seconds, what would be the most awkward situation to be in?
When you're having a shit or a piss.
I knew you were going to say that.
Well, let's face it, right? Yeah, I couldn't think of anything worse timing-wise for that to happen.
Yeah.
Right?
Don't know about
'Cause it's not
Neptune's
like you-
kiss, it'll be something way worse.
Yeah, it'd be way worse than that. I mean, if you're on the ISS and you know you've got all the equipment to deal with all of that, but when you're on
Yeah.
Earth, you're expecting gravity to do its bit. If that switches off for 3 seconds, you're in a world of pain.
I wonder what would happen if we actually switched, if gravity did switch off for 3 seconds. I'm just trying to think what would actually happen.
Well, for 3 seconds, it's quite...
Because there's not like some phenomenon where like you'd suddenly all like rise instantaneously. You'd probably just, if you were still static, you'd just do that. If you jumped during those 3 seconds, you'd be pretty screwed coming back down, right? That would be, I'm not sure about awkward, but that would be quite painful.
Yeah, if you were playing basketball or something at the time, or you're practicing high jump or you're doing pole vault, and just at the apex, the gravity switches off, so you
Yeah.
just keep going for 3 seconds. That's a long time. You're going.
Yeah,
That's
pole
gonna be painful.
vaulting, I'd be actually feel safer because the crash mat is still soft.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. But I don't think much would happen. No, not for 3 seconds.
What really relies on gravity?
Well, you've got gravity feed, water tanks. What relies on gravity? Cars. So that would be a dangerous situation. So if you've got a car that's going over the apex of a hill and gravity switches off, you're going to end up like that scene in Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you wouldn't want that, and then
I think if you were mowing the lawn, that'd be pretty dangerous as well.
Yeah.
You're going to get the grass at the wrong height, is for one thing.
Or you're a tree surgeon and you just cut a branch.
Because you're suddenly going to have no resistance if gravity switched off, so you're going to get flung around.
Yeah, exactly. And then if you're a tree surgeon, you're cutting a branch and you're expecting it to fall a certain way, but gravity switches off, it's not going to fall that way then.
No, it's just going to not fall.
So it's going to not fall, and then it might fall somewhere completely different. There's a whole host of stuff here that could go completely wrong.
All go Pete Tong. Completely Peting. Do you know what? This next one, I'd be interested to hear Rachel's answer to this. About yours. If your wardrobe was sentient, would it respect you? No, it absolutely wouldn't for me, I know this.
I don't know. That's too subjective. I would just say, yeah, probably. But
Rachel would be like, absolutely not.
Rachel would definitely disagree with that. I think...
Walk like a sim.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Mine wouldn't. Mine would not.
Why?
I've literally bought the same 6 t-shirts in a different colour.
Yeah, but there's you've got a solid case for that, though. It's not... You're not going out of your way to get bad clothing, or you're not going out of your way to do something. Do you know what I mean? You're
True.
There's logic and there's reason behind why you've bought what you've bought. So this is what I mean by it's too subjective.
That doesn't appear to apply to people, though.
Well,
logic is not really a done thing.
It's like the whole thing with your hat, right?
Yeah.
So people go, it
nobody
doesn't
likes
look good.
My hat. Except
right, no one
you.
likes your hat.
I
don't know why they don't like your hat.
I even watched that the other day, where it's like your cargo trousers are perfectly practical. My hat is perfectly practical, and yet they'll have the audacity to then complain. Oh, but then we don't get big enough pockets in our jeans. This is Steph, by the way.
But that hat serves a purpose. Stops your neck from burning.
Yeah. It stops everything from burning.
Stops everything from burning, right? Yeah. So that's why else are you wearing the hat? Unless you're wanting to do it as a fashion statement. If you wanted to wear a hat as a fashion statement, you'd wear a fashionable hat.
Yes.
Right? So this is what I mean. For me, that doesn't make sense. It's just the whole thing just doesn't make sense.
No, I'm on your side. I agree. I can hear Steph now going, but it's ugly. Yes, but it's got a practical purpose.
But again, that's subjective, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, 100%.
Right?
100%.
So...
Yes. So, would my wardrobe respect me? Maybe.
Yeah, I think it would. I think your wardrobe would. I think your wardrobe would be saying, you know what, Dom? You know what you like.
Good guy.
It's practical. I respect you for that.
Fair enough. I'll take that. Which condiment would survive a zombie apocalypse? Mayonnaise.
What?
Because mayonnaise always survives, and it's gross.
What do you mean mayonnaise always survives? What are you on about? Mayonnaise is quite volatile. It's not...
Yeah, it's true, actually. You're right.
I think I was going more sort of daddy sauce or HP.
Yeah. It's got vinegar in it, so yeah, it would do.
Right?
Yes.
No, in fact, I'm not changing my answer on that. That's a pretty...
Solid.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
Sauce.
Yeah, HP sauce.
No, fair enough. I'm more that I just like mayonnaise is gross, so I expected it would survive the bloody zombie apocalypse. Like, this is how we're all going to survive. You have to live on just mayonnaise. Great.
And
wonderful.
HP sauce still comes in the glass bottles, and they're quite thick.
Don't.
Right.
Yeah. You're thinking of practicality in terms of lobbing it.
Yeah, exactly. So HP all the way.
Once it's empty, it can be used as a good Molotov cocktail.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Or just, storing other things like emergency blood reserves or whatever.
Booze.
You need to do an emergency transfusion or something.
Emergency transfusion.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Okay, last one. If clapping was invented today, would it catch on? I like these types of questions where if something was invented today.
Yeah, because...
I saw another great one.
I was thinking about that, and I think it would, because what's the alternative? Because it's not like the whole... Have you seen those videos where it says you don't have to raise your hand to knock on a door?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
You can keep your hand low. Right, so there are alternatives.
You still do that.
Yeah, everyone still does that, but you don't have to do that. You can just knock like that.
I suppose I think maybe it's a natural thing, because when babies get excited, they do this, don't they? And they've never been taught to do that. So maybe it's a natural thing for us to...
Yeah, so I think it would. It's a natural... Yeah, it's not even a case of catching on. I think... It's like you smile. When you're happy, you smile. If you find something funny, you laugh. No one's taught you that. I think that's too instinctive. So clapping is, I think, quite an instinctive thing.
Yeah. Although clapping when a plane lands is diabolical and needs to be put in the bin.
Do people still do that? Really? Really? Oh.
Yay, the plane landed! There's a moment. Interestingly, the one that was related to this said, if asbestos was invented today, people would find a way to make duvets out of it. And claim it as a health benefit.
Probably. By the way, timestamp. Can you?
I need to block that.
Yeah.
Why?
But yeah, no, and I'll explain separately why. But yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, if if asbestos was invented today, people would sleep in it and claim it as a health benefit.
Yeah, exactly.
That just kind of shows the way that the world is going.
Listen, you're not going to forget about blocking that out.
No, I won't forget about blocking that. And the more you talk about it, the longer then I have to edit bits out of the podcast, right? I'm now just going to keep this section in where it's we're talking about editing something out of the podcast and no one's going to have a clue, and it's just going to be the funniest thing ever. I might even just put the technical difficulty sign. Do. Well, it is, as always, been a pleasure to have you back on the podcast.
It's been great to be back
now for all of time. So the bit that you always forget, what are your final thoughts?
Final thoughts.
Other than talking about the banned topic that you just banned.
Well, yeah. Final thoughts. I think Hoops said he doesn't like money, so Hoops, this is for you. I'm going to send you my account number, sort code, and account name, and by all means, just transfer whatever you want over to me. If you hate it that much, I'll be more than happy to take it. No, on a serious note, final thoughts are... I haven't really got final thoughts, but just a final thing. I just wanted to say thank you again for covering for the last two podcasts and for your patience, because it was also a bit last minute.
That's fine.
When I had to drop out. So
that was good. It's all good. It's all good.
So thank you, Dom. Yeah, I appreciate that.
For me on both of those podcasts, it kind of gave me a bit of opportunities to try some things differently. So the first one, solo podcasts are actually quite hard, because I realised I've got to kind of constantly talking and moving on to the same thing, and you've got to really have your thoughts in order. Sometimes I'd say that we didn't have our thoughts in order today at times, so there's sometimes a bit of silence, but meh. But when you're on your own, you feel a bit more pressure.
You can't riff when you're on your own, can you?
No, you can't. You can't.
Yeah.
Which is why I was so happy that I managed to pull the F1 stuff. I had to talk about that because it's the only thing I know about, so I had to put it all together. And myself and Hooper organising something quite last minute was quite good, and I think that's good. So yeah, my final thoughts is I'm so glad that you're back on the podcast. It's so good to see you happier and healthier and all those types of things. So yeah, super good. I've enjoyed this podcast as always, and we've got you've seen, we've got some good plans coming up. So
we have.
It's gonna
what
be
are your
good.
final thoughts?
So that's my final thoughts. Is this was good fun. I absolutely love
Oh,
it.
okay.
That's
Nice.
my final thought. My final thought is good. It's good.
Nice.
It's so good to have you back.
It's good to be back. It's good to be back.
I'll be back. Come on, you idiot.
No, I'm not even going to try and do that. That's too good.
Dominic. That's the only reason I know it is because it's from Kindergarten Cup. Dominic at the end. And bits and pieces like that. They love Steam Bennett. It's about as good as I can get. It's not great, but it'll do. Right, folks, that is the end of today's episode. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for listening. I've just realised how hungry I am. It's 20 past 12.
I'm starving.
I could eat a scabby dog.
I am starving. Yeah. No, I'm not actually starving. I don't like it when people say that. 'Cause it's like, it's
I'm
not
hungry.
actually- I'm just hungry. I'm just very, very hungry. Yeah.
Very, very hungry. Jerry, pleasure as always.
Likewise.
And we'll catch you on the next episode, folks. Bye.
Yep. Thanks, everyone.